Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. Happy Thursday. Glad you're here. These Red Mic messages are leadership and life lessons I've picked up mainly from 25 years as a public servant, 16 years as a youth football coach and scouting volunteer, and 10 years as a mediocre athlete with far more heart than actual physical ability. Today's Red Mic message: it's not the job, it's everything else. um, there's a saying that floats around in leadership and work circles, and I've seen it on LinkedIn a million times. And yeah, it seems cliched, but it's more than a cliche. You really need to take it for what it's worth. It's a warning. People don't quit jobs, they quit bosses. Let me say that again. People don't quit jobs, they quit bosses. This graphic said it a little differently, but message was the same. At the top, it showed a simple pie chart. What employees don't quit: the job itself, the mission, the company. And that's true. Um, a job I left years ago, um, the leadership had just gotten a little bit erratic. So I started looking, and I found a better job. It was a better title, better money. If things had been a little less erratic, would I have stayed? Probably. I liked what I was doing. I liked the people I worked with. Now, ultimately, did I like having a better title and more money? Yeah, of course. But it sort of cements the whole idea. Employees don't quit the job itself usually. They don't quit the mission. They don't quit the company because they want to do good work. They want responsibility. They want to contribute, but they don't want the headaches. They don't want the culture. The other part of the graphic, it had a second pie chart and it said what employees do quit: poor work life balance. Yeah, my boss would call me all the time. I mean, didn't matter. If my phone rang after 9 o'clock at night or before 7 a.m. on the weekend, I knew who it was. Didn't even have to look. Lack of flexibility. My way or the highway. No discussion, no thought, just do it. No recognition. Toxic culture. People walking on eggshells. Ooh, probably shouldn't do that. Ooh, probably ought to get permission to do that. Oh, don't say that. Um, you know, toxic culture's awful. Micromanagement. Micromanagement is horrible. Looking over your shoulder all the time. I've been fortunate in the last two or three jobs I've had where I'm not micromanaged and haven't been micromanaged. Um, they trust you to do the job. Micromanagers don't. They want to know everything you're doing. They don't want to know why you're doing it. They want to know how you're doing it. Here, why don't you do it? If you want my job, you do it. Um, so that's untenable. And bad bosses. Um, was just talking about a former boss I had the other day where 90+% of my job could have been done remotely, but I had to come in, had to sit at the desk, you know, pound out my pound of paper every day. And one time I asked him, I said, can I, maybe work remote 1 or 2 days a week? Because the job was an hour away from where I live and an hour and a half home based on traffic. Afternoon traffic is always worse. Don't know why. And they said no. And I said, 90+% of what I do is right there at the desk. Everything's tied to the computer. It's tied to the live stream. It's tied to, this, that, and the other. I didn't have interactions a lot with other staff members. The occasional, hey, what about this? That sort of thing. And they said, well, no. And I said, well, why? They said, how will I know what you're doing? Um, I give you a report every day that tells you I did X, Y, Z, and then I will send you copies of what I worked on. Yeah, but that's just at the end of the day. How will I know you're not messing around during the day? Really? Because I'm a professional. Let me do my job. No. So, again, that job was okay. The situation, the circumstances weren't. So I left, got the heck out of Dodge, and ended up in a job that I loved. So leadership should not be about control. Um, this ought to be in every leadership book, every leadership manual, every leadership event you go to. They ought to say this. It's not about control. It's about conditions. You can have the best mission, the best pay, the best office perks on the planet, but if your team feels ignored, overmanaged, underappreciated, exhausted, they're going to leave. Even if they're well paid, they're going to leave. And the best ones are going to leave first. So whether you're leading a company, a classroom, a little league team, your job is to clear the runway. Make room for everybody to take off and fly. Remove the friction. Build trust. You hired them, trust them to do the job. Say thank you. Give them the tools they need and the space they need, and they will take off. I know they will. People want purpose. They want growth. But most of all, they want respect. They want you to believe in them. They want to not just feel it, they want to be immersed in it like a warm bath. Because if you're not doing all of that, they're going to leave. Don't be surprised when they do. And that's today's Red Mike message. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you find it helpful. I hope you're able to put these things in place in your own life, your own workplace, your own environment. Look for stuff like that on LinkedIn. Ton of great stuff on LinkedIn. Yeah, there's junk. There's a lot of junk on a lot of social media, but there's some good stuff on LinkedIn particularly. So I appreciate you for being here. I really do. I'll see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow, Fun Friday. It is Friday tomorrow, isn't it? Yes. This whole week has been sort of crazy. Tomorrow, Fun Friday, I'm gonna talk about some lessons I learned at a burger joint. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here. Don't forget, life is short. Drink the bourbon.